Oh, there's some. Okay, never mind.
Oh. Anyway, quick recap. Yep,
Quick recap.
yep, recap. You guys went with the old man, teleporting to Little Ivywood. Uh, you found the large sort of mansion, looked around in it, found a huge golem, destroyed it. The old man said, "Oh wait, no, that's my friend." He went inside the door that the golem was guarding, took some magic items outside of it. You saw that there was a whole lot more magic items in it. Allowed you to take two magic items, a flag, a very large flag with a flagpole, in fact, and a slow cooker, magical slow cooker. Uh, Afterwards, you guys left, and he basically said, "Oh no, no, it's not the top or the middle part of the mansion that I want you guys to take care of. It's the basement." So he showed you all how to get to the basement, and it took about 5 minutes of climbing downstairs to get to a solid iron door. You opened the solid iron door to show that there was, in fact, some sort of odd weirdness of a marketplace. After some deliberation, you all eventually went inside uh, and walked around for a few, having a lot of distractions along the way in the form of some apple merchants, some weird creatures who you've never seen before, some very scary and frightening creatures who you know about and have never seen before, but want to steer clear of, and of course, some creatures which you were amazed to see, dragons. You found two dragons and spoke to them, one of which you basically were told that there were, in fact, other dragons, two of them, on the planet itself, or on the world itself, I should say, who had come to visit them, as well as the other individual that you had seen, that you had spoken with, had said the same, except only one of them had come to visit them. After doing so, Rava eventually led you to his new friend, Wilhelm, captain of the Ebonheart ship, where you spoke to him and found out that he was in fact a captain of the Elven Armada, where he explained that there is in fact such a thing as space-faring vessels, um, and that he was in fact one of those people, and in fact all of the people here were either a visitors in disguise from the world in disguise, or still um, visitors from a different sphere, is what he called it. He told you about a specific visitor who had been coming here and blockading some things. Uh, the so-called son of the last giant and last dragon, who wishes to come down to the earth, to the world, I should say, to Sulia, and take his place as the leader of the world itself, as he is the rightful ruler of it. Um, After some more deliberation, you decided that instead of making a decision, you would basically reconvene with him and take what he was saying at face value and think about everything before you made a decision. And that is where we left off, with you guys basically walking outside of the ship and wondering what to do next. So, what are you guys doing?
How long do we have until he reopens the door on the other side?
About 18 hours.
Okay. Any ideas, anyone?
Well, Doc, I don't know if you remember, but Ghoul went, I suppose, before all this to go and legend lore and identify the wall of the basement.
Yeah, and I said it's a wall.
You said you'd get back to me.
Oh.
Never replied.
Basically, the wall itself is a wall. It was erected about 10 years ago.
But, well, I mean, it identified doesn't tell me the effect going on.
No.
Because you said I could see the edge of it, so...
How do you mean, the edge? I don't remember exactly
I went...
what the...
I used Detect Magic to go and find the... You said there was an edge to this grassy area. It doesn't just go on infinitely, that you could eventually find the wall.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to identify and detect, and legend lore it, and you said you'd get back to me.
Right. So you go over to it. It's the edge of a wall. It is literally a physical wall. It's just basically to explain. This you find out that this compound is literally something built in deep beneath Sulia. Are you saying the wall where the door was?
No, I'm saying like a wall, any wall, something that stops you.
It's a magical wall, but only because it's an illusionary wall. It's dirt and stone.
Okay, never mind. It's just that. Never mind. Thought it was something else.
It's not really not that significant. This entire area is basically built underground.
Well, I mean, the ships are getting in somehow, so...
Yes.
But, never mind.
If you look up, it looks as if there is a sky. And that is obviously an illusion.
Yeah. And if I go to the wall that the ships are coming into near the docking area, there's nothing?
You can't get to that wall. It's blocked. It's guarded, basically.
Guarded by what?
By the guards. The Clockwork Guards. To explain, there is. You walked in a diagonal, okay?
Yeah.
From the door. To your left, all the way to your left. If you followed that wall, you would eventually get to another wall. That wall is guarded by Clockwork Guards. But there's an open space between where the guards are and where the wall is. And that space is for the spaceships. Okay? If you look up, you can see that there is a route where every single spaceship is following. Until it eventually gets to a certain point, and then it moves freely throughout the city. Until it eventually gets to that area where it parks.
Okay, I'm sorry, never mind, just wasting time.
So there is a way to get out of here. You go back the way you came. So, what are you guys doing?
So
The
the cavern, as it leads up, you said there is a way up and out. It appears
Yes.
through there. How far?
you don't see it. At one point, the ships just disappear.
Right. Are there ledges or anything like that on the way up, or is it just a sheer kind of opening?
It's as if this place is a perfect square.
Okay. I want to fly up.
Okay, you
I want
fly
to. I
up.
want to see if I can get high enough up to get a look of where this exit, where this exits out at. If it's somewhere I recognize.
Okay. You begin flying up, and up, and up, and up. And you eventually get to the point where you're about to get through the clouds. And the clouds themselves, you don't feel them as you touch them. Usually, when you touch a cloud, you feel like that very light, fluffy wetness. Now you don't feel it. You crest above it, and everything suddenly changes as you see, all of a sudden, a dank, dark, wet cavern with stalagmites, or is it stalactites? The ones that hang down.
Okay.
You were right the first time.
Stalagmites. With just rocks, you see insects, all sorts of things, and then you look to where the ships would have crested, and you do see a ship cresting up. And you see that there is, in fact, an opening in the cavern with what appears to be a steel cover, which is very quickly opening, and then the ship rises, and then zips off, and then it snaps closed. Now, it looks as if nobody else can go around here freely, but you can. You can move however you'd like. Basically, what it seems like is they found this cavern free from the effect, this magical effect, and they made it illusionary. except there is this one point where the effect is still happening.
Right. So they're opening and closing a gate though, so I can't get up and out really.
Yes.
Damn. Okay. I fly back down.
You fly back down. Your feet touch the hard stone floor, the smooth stone floor, and you look around. You see your friends.
The top is sealed with a gate that I don't believe we'll be able to get out that way.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the effect that sealed this sphere was both the last dragon and the last giant, right? They put that on?
You saying that out of character?
Yeah.
We don't
Yes.
know that in character. We've been
Well-
told that we think they did.
Yes, but you know that from an NPC.
Yeah.
Basically.
So yeah, we've been told that's the case, but we don't know it for sure.
Yeah.
We don't
So
even know that
just-
there.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we don't even know that there was a last giant and last dragon.
Well, there are people old enough to remember seeing them.
Yeah, that's empirical evidence, really.
They were just humongous giants and humongous dragon, basically. A humongous giant and a humongous dragon. Giant was male, dragon was female. That's what you remember. At least from, the old people you've spoken to. And I will remind you, just because it's been a while, the Elven Armada guy said, if you want to leave, he will take you.
Yeah.
No, he said he was gonna get us a shuttle, didn't he?
He will let you leave, basically. He will get you a ticket out. And if you want as well, on top of that, he will also get you an arrangement to speak with the what's-his-face, the supposed son of the last dragon and the last giant. Just to basically, because in his mind, if you speak to him, then you will see what he means, basically. And they have spoken, according to him.
Mm-hmm.
Completely off topic, but we did level, didn't we?
You did.
I haven't updated my sheet, so I'm gonna do it real
Shit.
quick now.
I'm trying to fix something real quick.
He also said it would take time to arrange that, right, Doc?
They would, yes.
I'm really torn at what we should be doing here.
I mean,
Turn it off real quick.
I really think our first step is to go talk to the old man and see what the hell he thinks of
Oh, well,
all of this.
we have to, because if we
And,
miss that schedule, then we're stuck here.
And then we can come back. We can talk to that Sulian dragon when he comes back. We can arrange to go talk to the other guy. The guy claiming to be the... What's he calling himself, Doc? In that propaganda poster thing we got.
The son, the prodigal son, or the true emperor is basically. There's a lot of titles there. Give me a sec. I have his full. Do you want his full name, his full title, with all the bells and whistles?
No, I was just looking for a name that I could write down
Okay.
next to the last, the son of the last giant of dragon.
I'm just trying to figure out if that's who
Ardraxis.
he is. Who do we have?
Ardraxis is his name. It's Emperor Ardraxis, prodigal son, the true emperor. Titles.
And that's the son?
The prodigal son, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sorry, but I don't believe that for a second he is who he says he is.
Well, because I thought he would be... Did we ever get an indication of how old the last child would be?
On the tablet?
Anywhere. Any information.
No.
Rumors or anything?
No.
Okay. So what's with the egg, honestly?
You don't know?
I think the egg is.
Should we
I think
wait
the egg
for...
is a separate thing.
Yeah.
I'm more wondering about the kid that is currently on his way to our keep.
By the way, the egg itself feels heavier. It feels... You get a latent excitement almost, if that makes sense, from it.
Interesting.
It feels like it's on its way, basically.
You imagine.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should... first step is go talk to the wizard, or the old man, so let's, hang out for a while, I guess.
Yeah. When was the dragon supposed to go back to the barbecue place?
A day. A day from today.
Today.
So,
Oh no, a day from
No,
today.
a day from today. Yes.
So it's after we're supposed to go back with the old man.
Right.
Right. Was there a tavern at crap, I'm trying to find the name of the place.
Barbie's?
Barbie's, yes. Did she have rooms, or was it just a restaurant?
It's a restaurant. It's quite a large restaurant, but it's just a restaurant.
I'd like to
The
try to
elven guy... I think the elven guy said we could stay with him, didn't we? Didn't he?
He did, yeah.
I don't feel comfortable staying on his ship.
Exactly. I'd like to get a room at the tavern nearest to Barbie's.
Okay. There are a number of taverns near Barbie's.
Why don't we just get her recommendation and go there?
Good call. We'll be heading back there for another meal, I'm sure, anyway.
She, if you go there for another meal, while she's serving you, she says, Phoenix Downs. Just go down, take a left, and you'll see it. It's just a big feather on the top. That's the sign.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
No problem. And, yeah, she serves you whatever you'd like.
Sure.
Bunch of meats. It occurs to you almost almost immediately, where is she getting all of this meat?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
it's-
assuming it's being
Then
brought
you're
in on
just
the
like,
ship.
It's a merchant town, so I imagine
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
I don't ponder on that question very long.
You're like, wait, oh, okay. It's obvious then that none of this is like that fresh. So
Yeah.
you can imagine what it would be like if it were fresh. Which just makes Bogart even more excited to try out the recipe with fresh meat.
When we come back, I'm gonna bring fresh meat.
Yep. And she'll be probably ecstatic. But anyway,
I have no plans for the next 18 hours unless anyone else does.
do you guys want to go shopping? Because this place is a place where there's out of world things. Like, if you just want to window shop, you can. You have 18 hours.
I
Cool.
could do some more shopping. Although I did some shopping last week.
I'm quite low on funds at the moment.
Oh, but it's merchants trade.
I'm not sure
You
I have
could
anything I
trade.
want to part with.
We have all that stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, we do have the group loot, yeah.
I mean, if we had those rugs with the still, think of what we could trade for exotic Sulian rugs.
Mm. But we don't.
We can pretty much-
Exotic goods.
We could pretty much add that to that descriptor to anything that we have from Sulian. Anything.
Exotic Sulian swords. Wait, no, my cousin had that. I swear to God, my cousin had the exact same one. No, it's exotic Sulian sword.
Did we send all of the +1 sword, great swords, and +1 plate armor?
I thought we
Yes.
did, yeah.
Yeah, we did. Oh well.
Has anyone updated the group loot sheet?
I think I updated it last session, or the session before last, when we were going through and deciding who was getting what. Like, I updated that the ring was glued to the sword of sharpness and whatnot. But I don't think anybody's updated it since then.
Right, so we haven't actually marked down what we sent back on the caravan.
No.
Oh no, we put town next to the great swords and the full plate.
So there's a Mace of Terror. There's the breastplate of necrotic resistance is gone. Are you updating right now?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will.
Yeah, you actually sold that. Here.
Yeah, we sold. Yeah, I sold that here. The breastplate of necrotic resistance and the Vorpal longsword are both gone.
Okay.
We do have that Siri loot and the DOS loot. They've got to be valuable. They were handcrafted in Sulia.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see if we can sell those.
Okay. Who are you going to sell them to? Like, what kind of stall or
A
building
rug
or
merchant
whatever?
who is not a demon. Or devil or evil thing.
A merchant that is not a demon, devil, not a fiend, basically.
A rug merchant.
Obviously, not a A rug merchant. Yeah, that works.
A rug merchant. Really?
Not a somebody's selling armor or weapons. Somebody's selling like trinkets, jewelry, rugs, spices, stuff like that.
Okay. And what are you selling exactly?
The Siri loot and the DOS loot. And wasn't there a third?
Oh wait, no, sorry, we're not selling the rugs. I was thinking we're selling the rugs. We wouldn't go to
No.
a rug
And why would
merchant.
you sell? Yeah. Why would you?
I don't know.
sell
I was confused
instruments
as
to
to
a
why
rug
she
merchant?
said that, but I
No,
was
we
like,
want
you know.
someone with musical instruments. Then
Yeah, somebody with instruments or trinkets. Are they magical?
yes, they are.
They are
Okay.
indeed. Yeah. Let me just look it up real quick.
I've got to stop eating tacos on Monday night.
No.
Every
should
time
never
you eat
stop
a
eating.
taco, it's just like,
It's a
oh man, guys.
next day, I just hate myself.
So it's a Knaith mandolin, or is it? No, it's a lyre and a lute, right?
Yeah, the lyre and the lute. We have the mandolin, but Bogard's keeping
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Well, no, not in that case. I mean, if I can get something valuable out of it, I can buy another mandolin. I thought these were just like regular items, not powerful
No,
magical.
No,
these
they
are
are-
instruments of the bards.
I will say the lute is considerably less powerful than the lyre and the mandolin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
like-
we can just go.
we
We
might as
pretty
well
much
get them all
take
priced.
it, as I see it, to like several merchants and wait to see. You know how that glimmer of recognition that somebody gets in their eye when they see something that is valuable, or they understand that it's valuable. Like waiting for that person. But I'll be
Okay.
right back. Damn it.
Roll me. Who's gonna be talking? Are you gonna be talking?
I'll do the
Cedric?
talking.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
Not a charisma, just a d20.
Just a d20 for now. Just to see how well luck works out for you.
Crap.
Not very well. So after about 3 hours of you basically going over to someone and going, instrument, and they're just like, no, I don't really want any. There, you get someone who bites. It seems to be a half elf with very nice elven robes. So now it is a half elf with elven robes. Seems to have a lot of different trinkets on his what's it called? On his store, his stall. And it is a stall. It isn't just, it isn't a building itself. He says that he will give you 1,200 for the lyre and 1,000 for the mandolin. Unless you are okay with trading for goods, in which case he can give you considerably more.
What kind of goods is he selling again?
Trinkets and baubles. He shows you
Magical?
a number. Yeah, magical. Of course, magical. Why would he ever sell anything other than the best magical baubles? He shows you a one of his favorites, slime in a can. He shows it to you, opens the top, and you see just a tiny bit of green slime resting over it. He says, you put any sort of non-organic material inside of it, stones, metal, wood, and you see the can itself is actually not a can at all. He calls it a slime in a can, but it's actually a jar, glass. He says, you put it inside, and it will grow, and it will continue to grow until you stop. But
Okay.
I also have this very rare, very intricate clockwork beetle, and he shows it to you. And it's a tiny, tiny little thing, regular sized beetle. But he clicks a tiny little button on the tail end, and it pops open, and you could see the clockwork on it. And he says, "Now this can be loaded with any poison you wish, and then it can be instructed to bite anything or anyone and give out that poison. Very useful for any sort of assassination attempts or any sort of thing."
I give him a very offended look whenever he says that to me.
Never mind. I have instead the perfect companion for you. And he takes out a small cage, and he shows you this weird gray-looking being with wings, two small horns, large ears, and four arms and paws, or rather arms and legs, basically. And he shows it to you. Here, I'll show it. A second. One of these creatures in a cage, also tiny, about the size of what you would imagine a pixie would look like. He says, "This creature acts as an extension of its master, with the two able to share thoughts, senses, and language."
I'm looking at it. Is it some kind of mephit, or
It is a creature made by a wizard itself. Now, you don't know entirely what these are, because you've never seen anything like it on Sulia.
yeah? No, I'm just comparing it to things I have seen and thinking, does it
But
look?
they look like mephits. They look almost like a man-made squirrel companion looking thing.
Hmm. We have enough animals as it is. I'm kind of
Very
looking
well.
through his stuff. Does he have anything with any kind of a dragon motif? That's the things that are going to draw my eye.
There is an odd enough, a very dark black dragon motif can, or pale almost, of what appears to be paint. And he looks over at you, and he sees you looking at it, and he says, "Ah, now I can tell you have truly good eye for your products. Now this is called the Shadow Hue. Now, a very volatile substance, but when used correctly, can endow the user with many a great power.
Such as?
Well, let me just explain, basically. In it, there is the shadow stuff of the Shadowfell, concentrated into paint.
Moving on.
When put onto, say that again.
Moving on.
Of course. Why would anyone like yourself ever want a gracious power beyond belief? And he grabs
Not
and
at
puts
the
it away.
cost of shadow.
Right. Of course.
Between those two tells I've given him now, if he hasn't figured out that I'm not looking for anything connected to evil, he's an idiot.
You just sort of like.
Does he not have anything left at that point?
We could go. Is this the same guy that had like the Dryad's tears?
No.
Or is this a different guy?
This is a different guy. Okay. My last greatest possession is going to be very, very expensive. You will need to take both of the music instruments, as well as some other fee. But this dagger takes it out, and you see it's a finely crafted dagger with a scabbard of pure platinum. And god damn it, there's someone at my door. Hold on one sec.
No problem. I'm not liking anything this guy's got.
We could go back to the. I mean, there's other merchants we can talk to. There was one guy that had like pendants and necklaces and stuff. He had one with like Dryad's tears in it, which I don't remember what they did, but.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, that was quick.
Yes, someone was at my door. Just had to shoo them off. So he shows it to you. Scabbard with the metal bits made of pure platinum. The actual pommel is enjeweled with onyx, and then he slides very slowly, just to tease you a little bit, the blade out, and he shows you what appears to be an almost transparent looking an almost golden laden metal, which seems to be very hard and very intricate, with a ton of tiny little detail across the blade itself, with what appears to be a number of celestial runes and such. And he shows it to you and he says, "Now, if you say no to this, I have nothing more for you. But if you do say yes to this, you would have made a very good purchase indeed, my sir. This dagger is made of celestial myth."
Oh, so it's like this, and I pull out the frying pan.
He looks at it and goes, he just sort of like opens his mouth and just sort of freezes like that as he looks at the entirely fucking celestial mithril. He has a fucking dagger, and you have an entire frying pan made of celestial mithril.
Fucking finally.
And he's
Fuck.
like,
I'm back.
right.
Sorry, something fucking broke, and I had to fix it.
That's alright. This guy is trying his hardest to sell you some things. and failing
Oh.
miserably. But he shows you the dagger either way, and he says, but this, when used, engulfs in electricity, in lightning.
Isn't that what your sword does?
I kind of lift out Mooncover a moment and I say, well, among other things. And then I kind of
Hmm.
gently kind of put Mooncarver away and give it a stroke.
Do you have anything?
Does he react at all to Mooncarver then?
He just sort of he puts the dagger down and just you see his face just go to a frown and go, oh.
It's okay.
It looks like you don't need any of my wares, so my offer of gold stands. Take it or leave it.
How much gold did he offer?
1,200 for one of them and 1,000 for the other one.
No.
I was thinking about asking for 2,500 for the pair.
Why don't we go check some other stalls and see, maybe we can get some better trades. What kind of stuff are you looking for?
I wasn't looking for anything in particular.
I asked, does he have anything in the nom?
No.
He didn't have anything with Draconic really either.
You have the Shadow Hue, though.
Yeah, which
Mm.
Void
That's-
Dragon does not.
That's
count.
pretty evil.
Yeah, Void Dragon
That's
does not.
pretty
count.
evil, yeah.
Why don't we go talk to the merchant that was selling pendants and such? Like the Dryad Tears and I think he had elemental stones or something like that.
Can't hurt. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
You're welcome. Trinkets and baubles for sale. As you basically begin to walk away and go towards the other man that you spoke to earlier, and you get to him within another hour. By the way, you have been looking for a person to sell these musical instruments for 3 hours, and you have been having no bites.
Are we keeping track of time? I assume
Yeah.
we are.
It's been 4 hours now that you have gotten to this man.
So we got 12 hours left.
12
Okay.
hours. You're probably getting pretty tired because it's probably been around 10 hours so far with you guys walking through the city. But you guys get to this jeweler's stall, very near where you guys entered. And you do, in fact, see the man that you saw earlier. The human man, or you remember his race? Because otherwise he's a human.
No, he was a dwarf.
He's a dwarf. A dwarven man with finely braided, jeweled beard, and what appears to be a circlet on his forehead with what appears to be a number of diamonds adorned on it, made of pure platinum. Very nice, fine jeweled man. And as he's just sort of talking to another customer with his hands gesturing, you can see that he's wearing a number of different rings as well. The customer buys something. You see he buys what appears to be a pendant with a very large ruby set in the middle. And he looks very happy with his purchase and walks away. And you guys get up to the stall and he says, "Ah, yes. How can I help you again? You have returned. What can I do you for? Would you
Well-
like those Dryad's tears, or perhaps the circlet of elemental fire.
Ooh. We actually have some items we're looking to trade. I'm wondering if you'd be interested in them. And then
Well,
I kind of like step out of the way so Cindric can show him the stuff.
he puts his hands
I
together
step forward and show him the instruments.
in shape, and he looks at them. Very interesting. Well, I'm sure I could find some use for them. I might not be able to find them immediately, but they look all right. And you're looking to trade for some of my goods, correct?
You say they look all right. They are some of the finest of Sulian magecraft.
He just sort of smiles and he says, "Yes, Julian, you say. Very interesting. Do you have any written documents, perhaps, that state that this was, in fact, created in Sulia?"
I could very easily write for you a document that would state that it was created in Sulia.
He just sort of narrows his eyes and looks at you with a sly smile, and he says, "Ah, I see. Yes, very funny. Well, we'll be taking it at the regular cost. But
Are you
I do
doubting my integrity?
without proof, there can be no entire genuine tree.
Is not
What
the word of a just man proof enough?
Now. In business, the word of a just man goes only so far. But
And
if you
also,
want to do business, let us do business.
Perhaps we should go back to the man who offered 4,000 for them.
Perhaps you should.
and you know, maybe realize that he's a jeweler and you're trading him some musical instruments that now he has to work to sell. So
Are you saying that out of character or
no,
in character? 'Cause He
no.
would definitely agree with you if he said that in character.
Actually, no. He says it over telepathy to
Okay.
Cindric.
Just says, if you wish to take it somewhere else, you can. But I'd be very willing to give you some of my wares, or perhaps we can negotiate a gold trade.
I kind of look to the others.
This is yours. You decide. What are you wanting here? Exactly.
To pass some time. I didn't
So-
have anything
so
to do. I'm just literally passing time.
So you're just giving him items so you can hang around for a while?
No, if I could trade them for something nice, then I'll trade them for something nice. But literally, I was like, I don't have anything to do for the next 18 hours. What do you guys want to do? And then Bogard said, well, we could go sell things out of the group loot. And I said, okay, yeah, sure.
Well, that's the thing is, like, you haven't wanted any. Like, the last guy, he offered you gold and you're like, maybe. But this guy, you handed him the items and said, oh, okay, what now? Like, he hasn't even agreed to give you a single copper, and you've handed him the items.
No, I've shown him the
I
item.
never
I haven't
handed him anything.
I've shown him the items. And that's when he started saying, oh, well, they're okay. They're not. And that's whenever I started talking them up a bit. But he doesn't seem very interested in them. So my character is basically looking to the others of you that are here because he's not really bothered enough to try to push the issue if this guy's not interested. Unless one of you is.
Does he have any of the things that you guys are looking for? Draconic things or Ammonian things? Or Mayan things?
Do I see any nice draconic pieces?
You do, in fact. You find what appears to be a bracelet with very draconic looking what's the word? Detailed on it. Made of gold and silver. So not entirely, yeah. And he says, I would be willing to trade this for that, if you'd wish.
Tell me a bit about it.
Well, I would say that it would only be very useful for someone such as you. The exact nature of the magical enchantment within and of itself is that it increases the natural magic within a dragon, so that the power of its dragon's breath is more powerful than exhaling.
I see. And you would want both instruments for this item.
That is correct.
Just kind of looking at it, Doc, can I take an Arcana and try to figure out how powerful this thing looks to be? Because that would have to be one hell of a bonus to my breath weapon to make it a fair trade for both of these.
Sure.
Can I roll as well, or?
Sure.
Where's my sheet? There it is. Arcane. Oof. No,
I mean, it
don't
looks
know.
pretty impressive. Just the make of it looks pretty impressive. If you use detect magic,
Mm-hmm.
then it is quite strong, but it's very specialized. You can tell, and in that case, it does